Have you seen Coach Diaco over the last couple of weeks? What has been his emphasis with you guys? His teaching points, especially with a lot of new players having to sort of cycle in, start. Maybe they haven't ever started before. What have you seen his teaching points and emphasis be for you guys?
You know, I would just say it's been the same since he's been here. He's been consistent with his message to us about how he's approached each week from week one to whatever week we're in now. He's been the same as far as installing the game plan, you know, and just installing the philosophy of, you know, we might have guys that go down. That's college football. That's life in the Big Ten, but we need guys to step up.
How close or far away do you think you are from being a complete defense?
You know, I think we are closer than it necessarily looks on, you know, at the end of the, you know, the stat sheet at the end of the game. You know, a lot of plays will have a lot of guys doing a lot of great things, but you know, all it takes is a couple of breakdowns to, you know, give up big plays, points, and you know, so that's what we're looking for. We're looking to be perfect.
It's hard when, if you're a fan or you're watching the game from up here, to maybe see a lot of difference in details in defense. How much different do you feel like you're playing now, or how much more comfortable are players now in the system than they were 10 weeks ago?
Oh, I think you're a lot more comfortable anytime you're in the fire on a Saturday. You grow experience-wise. As far as the offenses that we're playing, you know, it helps to have seen some of those spread offenses early in the year, because you know we didn't see that in practice. We didn't see that really in spring ball. So to be able to get more experience against teams like that, you know, that's going to benefit guys going forward.
Excuse me if I don't use the right title, but you got that Football Foundation award last
Yeah.
week. What's that mean to you, and just all that it encompasses?
Yeah, you know, I was honored, humbled to win an award like that. You know, it's something that recognizes your academic work, which is something that I've really tried to take pride in since I've been here. So, you know, to be recognized and then to look at the list of guys that were on it. You know, the Northwestern running back Justin Jackson was on it. Just to see some of that, I felt honored and humbled to be a part of it.
How tough is that balance that you've walked throughout your career? I know you guys spend so many hours over here, and to still put up the grades.
Yeah, I mean, I could try and tell you. I mean, it's been tough. You know, I spent a lot of nights right up here where you guys sit, you know, studying. So, you know, just been trying to balance my time and go from there.
Being 2 wins away from a bowl game right now, how much is that a motivating factor for you guys to get bowl eligible?
I mean, it is a huge motivating factor. I want to keep playing. You know, my days are numbered. That's how I think of it. And so if we can get an extra game, you know, that's my motivation, absolutely.
How much does that mean to you to get one more game in your senior year?
Oh, it mean everything. You know, to go on a trip with, you know, the guys that I've, you know, became close with, my teammates. Yeah, it mean everything.
You've been in this program for 5 years, as much your defense as anybody's as a captain. On Saturday, Coach Diaco said the following, and I wanted to read the quote to you and get your reaction to it. There's no reasonable reason, considering where the defensive program was at, to believe that they should be able to do everything that needs to be done in the game to win the game. What do you think he was talking about? You're around him all the time, and what's your thought on that?
You know, I'm not going to put words. I'll let him, you know, answer that, because I think he'll take the first answers to that. I would just say that our job as defenders is to limit as many points as we can for the opposing team's offense, get the ball back to our offense as fast as possible. There was times on Saturday in the second half where we did a great job of that. You know, and there was times where we didn't, and that ended up costing us the game.
Do you feel like you guys are well equipped, even at this point, with personnel to do all the things that he wants you to do and that you want to do?
Yeah, that's what I believe, absolutely.
Okay.
Chris, a loss like that over time at home, and there's only a few games left. I think it would be natural for some teams, not to say it would happen here, but some teams could just pack it in. You know, what convinces you that this is a group that won't do that?
Just the guys that you've worked out with, that you've blood, sweat, and tears with. You know, we've been through a lot together. I know, guys aren't going to quit. I know we got a lot of competitors in that locker room, and so the way I think, anytime you roll the ball out, even if we're 4-5, you roll it out, you want to win. You're a competitor. That's what you do. If somebody beats me in a test in the classroom, like that makes me upset. So we got a lot of guys, like that that are competitors. So on Saturdays, that's what we get to do. We get to compete.
Took the ball away twice on Saturday, but haven't taken away that many times this season. I know there's not a magic formula, but how do you emphasize taking the ball away, particularly maybe forcing more fumbles than you have this year?
It's something that we emphasize in practice. When we actually wrap up in practice and try and take the ball away. Guys are making plays down the field in practice. So it's good to see stuff like that, transpire into the games. That's the only way you can, how do you work on it? The best way to do it is make it realistic in practice.
Is there a young guy or two in particular that you say, man, he's a lot better than he was in August?
Yeah, I think Ben Staley's came a long way. The job that he's done stepping up, playing significant minutes has been huge. I think Alex Davis is also another guy that really last couple of weeks has came a long way. And then Lamar Jackson, just watching his Purdue game the other week, he's done a great job. Has continued to grow.
How tough is it to grow within the season, or is it actually easier in a way, learning through when it really counts?
It's tough because it depends on how you're at physically, I would say. So certain guys might be nicked up, and that might limit some of their progress. But as far as if the experience that they get, it's invaluable to see it on Saturday, to be out there, to go through a call, to line up and see what how an offense is attacking you. That's the experiences that you can build on as a player.
So how would you say penalties have hurt the defense or not hurt the defense this year? How do you feel like you guys have done in that regard?
I guess it's off the top of my head, it's hard to say. I know we had a personal foul on Saturday that hurt. I don't know. It's hard to say. I think just right off the top of my head.
You put a lot of emphasis on avoiding certain penalties as a unit?
Yeah, absolutely. Same thing, in practice with the pass interferences, stuff like that. Hands to the face, as a linebacker, that's something you try and avoid. So the same thing comes down to practice.
I'm sure you would have loved to be out there for that play, but how good of a play did Mo make on that option?
It's funny.
That tackle.
It's funny. I saw him today for the first time. Since then, the first thing I said was, that was a great play. Sold out really for it. Mm-hmm. That's the stuff you love to see. A kid like that putting his body on the line to keep your guy out of the end zone.
You guys want to try to build on, even though they scored, what you guys did on the last 4 plays of that?
Yeah, absolutely. If we would have kept him out of the end zone, it would have been even better.
Would you like a snow game this week?
I would. It would be nice to be playing a little bit of snow, I think.
When you've got a season and your last season that's not going exactly the way you want, how do you balance trying to just win the next one and then also help so many young guys in the defense prepare for not only the last 3 games, but what's to come in their careers?
I think you can do both. I think guys are looking to you to how you approach each week, your approach in practice. So you don't change your preparation. You show them that you're going to prepare the same way. And then, I just try and do what I've always done. I always try and help the younger guys along, pull them aside in practice. And, if they made a mistake, help them coach them through it. Or, if they're down, pick them up, stuff like that.
Has he looked at the forecast?
I haven't.
Brian's right. It might be snowing.
Yeah.
1 to 3 inches?
Yep.
Hey, those are the ones you don't forget as a football player. So
with the stigma around the Big Ten of the snow game type of thing, and battling the atmospheric conditions, things like that, how fun is that as a defender to go and play? It will be a sloppy game.
Teams aren't gonna be able to really throw the ball. So as a linebacker, you love being able to, almost make a team one-dimensional because of the weather, and know what they're gonna attack you with.
What's the wildest weather you've played in here? Can you think of anything that's kind of off the?
We played some cold games. I don't really know.
Nothing too crazy.
I guess we played snow when we were in, snow in Wisconsin.
Yeah. The game we don't need.
Yeah, I was trying not to.
Thanks, Chris.